In a vibrant city made entirely of regular shapes like triangles, squares, pentagons, and hexagons thrived in harmony. The sun shone brightly on the colorful buildings, and laughter echoed in the parks where shapes of all kinds played games. One sunny afternoon, a group of shapes gathered at the center of the square. Triangles tossed a ball back and forth, while squares organized a game of perfect balance. The pentagons were chatting excitedly about the upcoming shape parade, their angles sharp with enthusiasm. Suddenly, a murmur rippled through the crowd. Shapes began pointing toward the edge of the city, where a cluster of unfamiliar figures appeared. Irregular shapes, lopsided and wavy, were moving closer. "What are those things?" A square gasped, its edges quivering with apprehension. "They don't look like us," another triangle exclaimed, panic in its voice. The squares huddled together, their expressions filled with concern. "They'll ruin our perfect city," one square said decisively. "They might be dangerous," a pentagon added, its sides bristling. "We must protect our home." Among the fearful shapes, two stood out. A bold hexagon with vibrant colors and a wise icosagon, whose many sides glimmered in the sunlight. The hexagon stepped forward, its voice steady despite the uncertainty around it. "Let's not judge them without knowing their intentions. We should find out who they are." "I agree," the icosagon said thoughtfully. "I'll join you. We need to see if they come in peace." With determined hearts, the hexagon and icosagon approached the irregular shapes. As they drew closer, their hearts raced, but they pressed on. The irregular shapes turned, surprise evident in their features. "Hello," called the hexagon, raising a side in greeting. "We come in peace." The leader of the irregular shapes, a friendly squiggle with a bright smile, stepped forward. "Peace? What's that?" it asked, its form curving playfully. The hexagon paused, realizing this was a chance to connect. "It means we want to be friends. We heard you were coming and, well, we were worried." "Worried?" the blob chimed in, its shape shifting with curiosity. "Why?" "We've never seen shapes like you before," the hexagon admitted, feeling a little shy. "We thought you might cause trouble." The squiggle tilted its head, perplexed. "We're not here to cause trouble. We heard about your wonderful city and wanted to make friends." The hexagon exchanged glances with the icosagon. "Friends?" the icosagon repeated, intrigued. "What do you mean?" "We just want to play and learn about your shapes," said the squiggle, bouncing slightly in excitement. "We love making new friends." The hexagon's heart began to warm. "Maybe we should show you around. It might help us understand each other better." "Really?" the blob exclaimed, its form jiggling with enthusiasm. "That would be awesome." With a nod of agreement, the hexagon and icosagon led the way into the heart of the city. As they walked, they shared stories about their lives. "We play games like Perfect Balance," the square explained proudly. "It's all about keeping our shapes perfectly aligned." "Oh, we have games too," said the squiggle, its lines dancing. "Have you ever played twisty tag? You had to twist and bend to catch each other." The regular shapes looked at one another, curiosity overcoming their initial fear. "That sounds fun," the hexagon said, its excitement growing. Soon, they reached the city park, where shapes of all kinds gathered. The hexagon called out, "Everyone! This is our new friends from outside the city. They're here to play with us." The shapes paused, exchanging wary glances. But the squiggle, full of energy, waved enthusiastically. "Hi everyone, let's have fun together." Slowly, the shapes began to warm up. The irregular shapes demonstrated twisty tag, and soon everyone was laughing and bending in silly ways. The triangles giggled as they tried to twist their pointy forms, and the squares were delighted by the freedom of movement. "See? It's not so scary," the hexagon said, smiling at its new friends. As the day went on, the shapes shared their own games, mixing regular and irregular activities. They played Perfect Balance with a twist, encouraging each other to embrace their unique forms. "Your shapes are so interesting," a pentagon remarked to a new friend, a wavy line. "I never thought I could have fun without perfect angles." "And your games are so organized," the wavy line replied, beaming. "It's a nice change from what we're used to." As the sun began to set, the park was filled with laughter and cheers. The once divided shapes had come together, forming bonds that transcended their differences. "Thank you for showing us your city," the squiggle said to the hexagon and icosagon, its eyes sparkling with gratitude. "We didn't expect such a warm welcome." The hexagon beamed, feeling proud. "And thank you for being brave enough to come here. You've shown us how fun it can be to try something new." The shapes gathered for a grand celebration, filled with music and dance. The hexagon raised a toast, its voice ringing out above the chatter. "To new friends and the beauty of our differences." Everyone cheered, their voices blending in a harmonious chorus. As they celebrated under the twinkling lights, the city of Polygons transformed into a vibrant tapestry of shapes, regular and irregular, united in friendship. From that day forward, the city thrived like never before. The regular shapes learned to embrace the irregular, discovering the joy that came from diversity. They found beauty not just in their perfect forms, but in the imperfections that brought them together. As the celebration continued into the night, the hexagon looked around at its friends, feeling a warmth in its edges. They had created a new beginning, one where all shapes were welcomed, and friendship flourished. And so, in the city of Polygons, the shapes lived happily ever after, proving that sometimes, the most unexpected differences can lead to the greatest joys. The end.